Welcome to Rekt Reviews, movies and entertainment analysis using the latest in beer goggle technology. And here are your dubiously qualified hosts, Eric, Paul, and Shark.
I think we're qualified by now. We've been doing this long enough.
What happened to the
Yeah.
I know, you used the old intro.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. And Amy.
And Amy.
Wait, too many moving parts here. We're live on Caffeine.
That's okay. Hey, guys.
What's
welcome.
up, caffeine people? How you doing?
Welcome to Rekt Reviews.
Hello.
Back again.
It's been a couple months, I think.
It's really hard to get the four of us to watch a movie at the same time.
Yeah, it is. You know what? One
I
of these
had
times,
life shit happen, so
Yeah.
I was busy.
One of these
it's
times we
cool.
should all go at the same time and
That'll be
check
fun.
them
Yeah,
out.
I'm down. Actually, December has a lot of good movies coming
Mary
out.
Poppins. Let's all do it.
And Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
That actually looks
that looks good. I
Yeah.
want to see that.
So I vote,
Oh.
if we're going to do that, why don't we do that
You want to see
one?
that, Paul?
Sure.
Like
The
Yeah.
cartoon
Yeah.
Spider-Man?
It's cartoon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to see a
But it
trailer.
looks-
Jigglypuff,
but it looks good.
Jigglypuff says
Rewind.
rewind.
We missed the rewind. I can't do everything.
Good job. Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah. So, what are we reviewing today, guys?
I don't know.
Oh, we should do a four-part harmony.
Uh,
Is this the real life? Oh,
This
who's-
is just
it's
fantasy.
just this fantasy.
And by the way, Shark is doing all the high pitched ones.
Galileo.
Galileo.
Yeah, I can't sing, but yeah, you can tell that we're doing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes.
I believe that everyone. Well, Eric has not.
I haven't seen it. So,
But you know what? You'll be able to get the gist.
Yeah,
of it.
I think you've seen enough of these to know the formula.
Yeah.
say spoiler: Queen breaks up, right?
Well, what are we drinking here, everybody?
Yeah. Why don't we start with you, Paul?
I am drinking Charles Shaw $3 Chuck Merlot from Trader Joe's.
And
the
it's
usual.
in a crystal glass.
That's right. I
You upped your
upgraded.
glass.
Yeah, that's right. I'm classy now.
Paul has always got his wine. He's very fancy, and much more fancy than the rest
Well,
of us.
now that we're on caffeine, it's not just an audio podcast. I gotta
Right.
come correct.
You gotta shave,
Got to step our
shower.
game up a little bit, huh?
adult grape juice. Well, I'm gonna take away your class and kind of down it a little bit. I got Mike's Harder strawberry pineapple. I don't know. I was at the store seeing what was on sale and this showed up. So yeah, that's what I got today.
Eric,
I have a Beechwood 28 Haze later. There we go.
Oh,
we
nice.
had haze later. I like
Yep.
that. Yeah,
It's a Northeast
Nice.
hazy style IPA. It's great.
very
Love it.
nice. And I am drinking a Mother Earth Brew Company Imperial Stout. It's very good. Florentino, what's up?
We're wrecking Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes, we
the
are.
greatest biopic of all time.
Yes,
Yeah. Tino saw this thing, too, I think.
Yeah, Tito did see this, and
I'm sure
as I
he
recall,
loved it.
He liked it. Yeah.
Because he loves everything.
Well, he is a musician, and so what did we overall think of Bohemian Rhapsody?
Okay, I want to start with you, Shark, because
Yes.
I know how you are,
Yes.
and I will. Let's just begin with you.
Okay,
Okay.
I didn't. Well, I say this all the time. I didn't hate it.
Okay.
But
High praise from Shark.
yeah.
Okay, that's actually a
Yeah.
step forward. Okay, he didn't hate it.
But I can tell you the only reason for me to watch this movie is because it has to do with Queen and everybody loves that band.
Right.
And the music. That's the only reason to see this. Otherwise, it's like a ABC movie of the week. It's
Really?
It's just complete pap and just
Okay.
vanilla.
It was really vanilla.
Yeah, it really was. It seems like everything that happens in the movie is just a little vignette they can show until they get to them singing a song.
Okay.
And I thought it was, well, again, because Freddie Mercury has always been this kind of like beloved guy. This makes him look like a complete ass. Like,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, sort of, but I would probably the.
Paul,
I think a lot of
you are not in the forest and square here. They can't see you.
I'm not in
Yeah,
the
they
square.
can't see a pretty face.
Yeah.
He did that on purpose.
So that's right. So originally it was supposed to be Sacha Baron Cohen that was going to play
Really?
Freddy.
Really?
Yeah, and
Is it going to be a comedy?
Oh God.
well, no, he wanted to make Freddy like go really deep with all the
Yeah.
debauchery and the
Yeah.
drugs and the sex, and they were like, it's probably a little bit too far than that they wanted to go to protect.
Oh, they wanted to
brand.
make a good movie?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I guess he did. So they fired the director like 3/4 into it.
It's
Yeah.
Bryan Singer, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he started it. I think they kicked him out and
Okay, 'cause I
brought
thought
in someone else.
Because I thought Bryan Singer went down with Kevin Spacey. I thought when all that
Oh, he
stuff
may
happened.
have.
Oh, for real?
I thought, yeah.
Oh, maybe that's why
Well,
they kicked him off.
Tino was telling you to move the camera over a little to the left or something. Yeah.
To the left, to the left.
But yeah, so they like the movie. It really like, and it went really. First of all, it was boring. It was boring.
Okay.
And it just jumped right in. Like you see, okay, Freddie Mercury is a young kid. He works at the.
Did he have a
airport.
mustache when he was a kid?
No.
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
He wasn't. It wasn't even him as a kid. More as like a teenager, and he was working.
Yeah, he
at-
was like 20,
Yeah.
I think.
And he was
Yeah.
working
They're
at
all in
Heathrow
college, I
Airport.
think.
Yeah. And then the next thing, he's at this little club. He sees the band, and then he tells them he wants to join the band. Next thing he's in, and the next thing they're in a recording studio.
And they're like, not with those teeth, mate.
yeah.
So is this more of a biopic about Freddie Mercury, or is
Yeah.
it more about
everyone else is completely one-dimensional. It was
Yeah.
really annoying.
Okay.
And like Brian May is like a very, very interesting character. Like they could have developed him a little bit more. And it was like
The guy who played him looks exactly like Brian May, by the way. He looks exactly like him.
I hear like they don't like get into it all about like how Queen like finds their sound or anything like that. Like they
No.
just all of a
no,
sudden-
they're already like fully formed, pretty much. They just had like
that is such a bummer.
they lose a bass player, and like Freddie comes in and starts singing, and they
Because I imagine that was like that's probably a very interesting arc, I would think, of like how Queen
there
became
would have
Queen.
been. I'm sure there's like 1,000 really interesting arcs
Like-
in the story of Queen, and they just went.
Yeah,
for,
I'm
like,
sure there's a
most
really
important
good
Natasha,
documentary to watch.
Natasha, thank you for sharing the
Yeah.
broadcast. We appreciate it.
Hey.
That's nice.
For sure. Share the love, Natasha.
Did you see this movie?
Yeah, have you seen this movie? What do you think of it? And Amy, we've been waiting for you.
Amy
To
obviously
time
liked
Okay.
it.
All right. So to the point, and I'm trying to understand the vanilla because I do understand to a point. I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to go into the whole thing,
Your
but
favorite movie this year?
no, it's in my top, but it's not number one. Honestly, there's no number one because the year's not over with yet, and
Yeah.
we still have a whole month. But
That's right, Aquaman.
oh gosh, that's going to be. Let's discuss that at the end. But it's going to be hot. It's going to be really hot garbage, just with a really hot guy. All right, so
The hottest of garbage. Sorry.
okay.
Ouch.
All right. So, couple things I appreciate. There were a couple times when I watched the lead actor who plays Freddy. What's his name?
Mr. Robot.
Rami Malek.
Okay, we'll
Malek,
call him
yeah.
Mr. Romic, Mr. Romic Robot, whatever. There were a couple times, like looking at the profile, I didn't know if it was Freddie Mercury or not because he did really well, especially with the mustache stage.
Yeah.
I don't know what he looked like as a teenager, but I really liked how he did that. But also the actor who played Brian
Yeah.
was crazy good and just very similar. But I will say at the end concert, dude, I mean, it was great. Me and my friend, I went with my coworker. We left the theater singing Bohemian Rhapsody and people behind us were singing.
Yeah.
So
People clapped at the end of this movie in
Yeah.
the theater when I went. Like
People always do that.
they do.
So if anything, let's take away the vanilla and the storyline. If anything, the ending of the movie itself was worth it.
Yeah.
Because it's like you went to a concert. You basically paid. Well, I paid $5 for this movie,
Yeah.
but you paid $5 or whatever you paid for that concert.
What's up, Nissa?
Sup. But I was fairly entertained.
But that's
you know,
that's what I'm saying. Like what you're recalling is the end of the movie and the concert footage.
the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Well, any type of
Is it
singing
an
or
actual
performance.
concert? Or
No,
is it
it's
fake
a
concert?
remake of the Live Aid concert.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. It looks
Yeah.
very if you watch because you can watch it on YouTube with
Yeah.
the Live Aid concerts and stuff.
I'm old enough to have watched it live. So.
we know you're like a bazillion years old, Shark.
A
Thanks
bazillion and
One
You
of those,
look
One
great.
of those
Black-
ancient sharks they find at the bottom of the ocean. With a gnarly
Black
teeth.
does not crack. I know. I got
in my
you.
case, it is cracking just a little. So
We know you look good, but I really okay with the story. I mean, because I'm sure. I mean, we're with any biotopic, you're not going to get the whole thing in 2.5 hours. We
Right.
know a lot of things are going to be left out. We know a lot of things, may or may not happen truthfully to what it is because you're taking interpretation I understand from members of the band because they were on set making sure everything was kosher.
Right.
But again,
Wanting
Freddie
to look
Mercury
as
is not
best as
there.
possible, I would imagine.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. And they let a couple of like historically really inaccurate things
Right.
slide in there that
That's like
pisses
That's
people
what like
off.
bums me out about biopic movies and
They,
stuff like
they
that.
just
in general.
make it like
This is one of the things that
I would much rather watch a documentary.
yeah. Well, there's a BBC documentary on Queen that's on YouTube that's much better than this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
You'll have to show me it because I would
Yeah.
love, I love Queen in general, and
Well, see,
stuff
that
like
was
that.
one of the things. I thought one of the main things they left out is like so.
thanks, Tino.
Queen is one of the greatest bands ever.
Yes,
Okay,
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury is probably the greatest rock singer
ever with his octaves,
yeah,
like the two.
but they
extra.
didn't explore that at all. Like how when he figured out that he was able to sing like that.
Yeah, like how-
none of that was in the movie.
Like, I don't even think they mentioned he would not get his wisdom teeth removed because he.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they
not
did.
wisdom. He has like a set, like an extra set of incisors.
Yeah,
He's got like
that
4 of them.
that does it. No, I agree, and that's why I'm saying like you can only take it so far with a biotopic.
And honestly, that sounds like bullshit to me. Just because he's got
Really?
like a couple of extra teeth that gives him all that
And
like,
see, and
extra
that-
resonance
see,
and
and
range.
that's the thing. That's just something. I think that's just something he says. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
It's like part of the
Like
myth.
Chuck
right?
Berry says shit. Who
Yeah,
cares?
exactly. Yeah, you can sing. So just sing and shut up.
And I did enjoy when they were recording Bohemian Rhapsody, just going through those stages and how they do things to get a unique sound and stuff. I did enjoy
that scene
that.
and with their interplay with Mike Myers. Mm-hmm. That was funny.
Isn't
Mike
it
Myers
kind
is
of
in it? Yeah, he's in
ironic?
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's the original like
The original producer.
producer.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
totally
it's-
didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
Say, I
scene-
haven't seen that dude in like a decade.
Well,
That's probably why you didn't
they're
recognize
doing
him.
they're doing a new.
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they talked about.
Yeah, so he'll be back.
Jigglypuff has
We're not
5
gonna-
sets
You
of
have-
incisors.
whoa.
Yes, I call bullshit.
Are you an opera singer?
You must be a damn good
Say-
singer, Jigglypuff.
That's what
Well,
the science says.
Jigglypuff, if you guys know Pokemon, Jigglypuff does sing, and she puts
And she
her
puts people to sleep.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
I know nothing of what you're talking about.
I've never played a Pokemon game.
I am. I have the Pokemon.
Pokemon is not a
Switch.
game. Pokemon
It's
is
life.
It's a lifestyle. Yeah.
But look,
Are they in the balls, or do you?
you have to keep. You have to throw.
Is that how they did they hatch?
Oh
out of
my
the
god!
balls?
So
There's a live action
so
Pokemon movie coming out. You'll find
With
find
Ryan
out.
Reynolds.
That's right.
Snorlax. So why? Okay, Jigglypuff. Why would Shark be Snorlax?
I don't even know who or what
I
Snorlax
will
is.
show you a picture of Snorlax.
I bet you it's an insult,
And then
whatever
you-
it is.
Well, and then you said, "Are they actually in the balls?" I was thinking something completely different. Like, what are you talking
This
about?
is a family show, Shark. I mean,
well, I thought so. When,
okay, going back to and like I said, I'm not trying to, one thing, if it's kind of like one of those things where if you have like a whole bunch of negatives, but there's a really good positive to me overall experience, I'm going to take it for, that overall experience. Yeah, there were definitely a few, scenes in that movie where I was actually getting kind of bored and I'm just like, okay, or like,
Very
okay,
bored.
but like I said, the ending for me totally made up for it because I'm going to say that scene was maybe 10, 15 minutes long and I'm okay with that.
Well, that's kind of the main focus of this movie is to get like Rami Malek to nail Freddy and get the performances nailed, and they did a really good
So
job.
did you
with
buy
that.
him as Freddy?
I did.
I did
So you
too.
stopped seeing Mr. Robot and
I stopped seeing Mr. Robot, especially for the performances. For the dramatic part, maybe not so much. Once in a while, he'd kind of take me out of it, but the performances were spot on, and that's really
All right.
where they put the focus of the movie. And when they were that whole segment where they were developing Bohemian Rhapsody, I was like, oh, this movie's not about Queen. It's not about Freddie Mercury. It's about the song Bohemian Rhapsody. That would make sense. But then that after like those 10 minutes,
see,
no,
also-
it wasn't.
they had a few scenes in the movie where, like, some of their most famous songs, they were showing how they came up with that idea. And I think what they showed about "We Will Rock You" was all bullshit. Like,
okay, that's what I was talking about.
I have a
like-
feeling all of those may have been bullshit.
Yeah, it could have been, but he was like, "Oh, well, I want a song where the audience is able to play along with us, and since they can't play instruments, they can stomp their feet." And I was like, I don't believe for 1 second that ever happened. So most of it, I think, like that's why I say it's vanilla. Like, really, with the exception of the few scenes where they're showing like, well, they really, actually they kind of glazed over it, but they made They alluded to the fact that he's going to like S&M clubs and stuff like that. With the exception of that, this movie could play on regular TV.
Like, it seems like that should be, I don't know. He's such an interesting character. I hear they kind of gloss over the whole queer part.
Well, yeah, and see,
They do.
Okay, so to me,
He
that's
spends half the movie like in bed with his girlfriend.
yeah, exactly, and it's more about his relationship with his wife.
And honestly, I didn't know he.
He's like, I think I may be gay.
Yeah, and
It's like, you're gay, bro.
Actually, wait. So I gotta interrupt because I just thought of something. So you know his mate, his life partner at the end. It is the same guy who plays in Deadpool 2. What was it, Peter?
the regular guy.
No, the regular guy, Sugar Bear.
Yeah, Sugar Bear.
I'm like, dude, he's still rocking the mustache. He still looks. It's like they took him from Deadpool 2 into this movie.
Yeah,
The guy from Catastrophe.
Yeah, that same day, he just when he's like, I gotta go to England.
I was like, wait a minute, why does that guy look familiar? Holy crap, that's Peter from Deadpool 2.
And see, you know what? If you think about Freddie Mercury, there's like just a couple things that come across. One is his voice. Okay. 2 is the fact that he was this completely out gay guy. He didn't give a damn who knew he was gay. And then everything else was with the band. But they didn't really explore any of that. They didn't explore, like there's a scene where he's laying on the ground, he's playing the piano upside down. Well, they don't explain like how he learned how to play the piano. They don't explain.
Yeah, none of his.
The
thing with his parents was also annoying. Like
With his dad?
like his dad sort of mildly disapproves that he's doing all this
Singing
flamboyant singing stuff. Like he just wants him
wanted
to
to be
have
a boxer or
a straight.
something like that.
But see,
And like the way they
Actually, Jigglypuff, I actually agree
it would
with
be
you
better
with
as a
that.
miniseries.
Yeah,
Very
because,
much so.
yeah, because you're trying to get all this history in 2.5 hours, and you can't do it. So I
So another
agree
reason why
with you on that.
biopics don't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is the same. It's the same formula as like Straight Outta Compton.
I haven't seen that, but I heard it was
It's
good.
the exact same thing. Where
That movie didn't work for me either.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. At the beginning, like his father.
Well, that's what happens when you have like the stars pretty much directing where the movie's going to go.
Yeah, like you have to wait for them all to die to tell
in
the real story.
Well, like through the whole movie, his mother is just the one who's just so understanding. Everything he does, that's her baby. His father is like, yeah, you're a waste of life. Until the end of the movie, until the end of the movie and they're watching the concert and they're my son is so great.
We get it.
Now we get it because the world loves him. It's like
I get a lot of money now.
I took 10 hours of
10
homework.
hours of homework.
Huh?
Yeah.
Pack a puncher fan. What does that mean? I took 10
I
hours
don't know.
of
That's
homework.
not pack a
It sounds
puncher
like
fan.
watching this movie was homework.
Homework.
I was getting ready to go watch it. And I was going to go to the theater and watch it. And I was like, let me see if there's a download that I can watch it. And I'm so glad that I did because if I had been in the theater,
you would be mad.
I would have been out cold asleep because it's just it just moves so slow and boring. There's like
you didn't fall asleep at home watching it? I would think you would fall asleep.
No, because I was doing other things while I was watching it.
got
Yeah,
it.
it was kind of
So you didn't
to the
watch
side.
So-
yeah.
So there's a couple of like major historical inaccuracies about this movie. One of them is like in the movie, if Freddie finds out that he has AIDS, kind of like right before the Live Aid concert, which in real life he didn't find out till like 2-3 years later,
Yeah.
and they make it seem like he's gets a big hit. He wants to go off and do a solo project, and then realizes that he's nothing without Queen, and he comes back and grovels and gets him back, and then they have a big comeback for Live Aid. In actuality, like a couple of I think the drummer already had like 2 or 3 solo albums of his own. Like it was not a big deal, and they were touring for like several months before
they did
Live
solo
Aid.
projects.
Yeah.
They kind of like conveniently made
Freddie
a big...
Mercury did a solo project with Michael Jackson. So
Did he really?
Yeah. But
I was thinking more David Bowie, but
well, and that was another thing about this movie. Like, I don't know why they glossed
Are they just
over
trying to
all
like
the,
weave a narrative into all this?
Yeah,
Like,
they're just making one up.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this kind of fits with his other stuff, so we're just going to make
It fits
up
with the
and do it.
formula, so let's just shove
That's
stuff into
true.
the formula boxes.
Okay.
and that's what I'm saying. Like
right.
those are the things I do understand, and I actually was expecting it to happen, and it did. And so, but I was trying not to let that. Okay, this movie sucks based on that. You got to take little pieces and what they're worth, and do they add up to an overall good movie? I think they do. There are, like I said, it's not an action movie. It's not.
Yeah.
We're talking a biotopic for Queen. It's not going to be a biotopic for Poison. We already know that they're actually making a movie. Was it Poison? There was another band that they're actually doing another biotopic with.
Who in the hell would watch that?
Well, I might not be Poison. It's one of the 80s bands that they're
Motley
doing.
Crue. Yeah.
Motley Crue, that's what it is. Because there was a scene where Ozzy Osbourne, I guess, snorted up ants and stuff like that. So it's not that world, but they did, there was definitely some opportunity, they could have done. But overall, like, I enjoyed it. Will I buy it on DVD? If it's on sale for $20, yes.
So you would watch this again?
I would, because I feel like any movie that I enjoyed, I feel like I also might have missed something, so I feel like I may have to watch it again.
Well, that's the thing about this movie. Just a movie, it's entertaining, but as like a fan of Queen, it's like, oh, come on.
It is disappointing.
You do better.
Yeah.
I say the one thing it will
if
make
this was
you
a
do.
fictional band.
Yeah, exactly.
Would
exactly.
it be a better movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It
Yeah.
would be.
Except
Think
that
so?
you've seen this story a million times and all the other.
And
Right.
like you said, it is more
Like
about
Rockstar?
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, it's like Rockstar.
Yeah.
And basically,
Pretty
I
much.
actually liked
It
Rockstar.
follows-
I
better.
do too. I love that movie.
it follows that same formula where you take him, he's nothing, then he's a rock star, then he's the drug-addled rock star who pisses everybody off,
Yep.
and then he finds redemption at the end. That's what
that's the formula.
That's
every
the formula
time.
every single time.
Let me
That's
just say this. Like, too bad Freddie Mercury is dead, because going to the Beatles made several movies.
Yeah.
Hard Day's Night. My favorite's Help, just because it's ridiculous. Yellow Submarine, you really have to be in that mood.
What was the Caveman movie?
That was Ringo Starr.
That was Ringo Starr.
Ringo Starr.
Yeah, that was just his own thing.
That was garbage.
So
You have to,
it would've
you have to be 60s LSD stoned to watch Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to. Well, there is a
That's what she
dispensary
meant
down
by
the block.
certain mood.
But no, like, yeah, like, to that whole thing, it's almost like Rockstar in a sense, very, very similar, because you have this lead singer who can hit these notes, and he goes, it's crazy, but I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say it's the best movie ever, because it's not. By the way, I've never seen Mr. Robot, which I guess I need to watch.
Me either.
Mr. Robot's good.
But I did watch Ex
The first
Machinica,
season is
though.
worth watching.
I did
I wouldn't-
finally watch Ex
First one is good. Second one kind of gets a little wonky.
I didn't make it to the third one.
Third one is really good.
Really? I got like 3 episodes in. I'm like, nah. I think
Really? Okay. Well,
This movie, you just summed it up why people are going to like this movie when you said you guys walked out singing Bohemian Rhapsody. I think everybody, people that like Queen, when they finish watching this movie, they're going to go home and play every Queen song.
I
You
did
can do that. You can do
I
that
did
now.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need to go see a movie. For
Yeah,
it.
and that's
you
the thing, because you also forget how many hits they actually had.
Well, and I also think the other thing is people want to see how this actor is going to live up. Is he going to be Freddie Mercury? I think a lot of people want to see if this guy's going to fail.
I will give him that. He did an excellent job.
And the
playing Freddie
actor who
Mercury.
played Brian, I think he did, because like I said,
Well-
there were several times I'm like, am I watching a movie or is this actually...
Well, that guy, I don't know who the actor is, but he looks just like Brian.
That's
May.
what I'm
he looks
saying.
exactly like him.
I
Yeah.
think you put that wig on you, you'll
That-
look just
Well, wait a minute, Paul, there's a wig behind you. Let's give it a shot. No, I'm kidding.
That was the funny thing in the movie because it goes from the 70s, like early 70s to the 80s. And Brian May is the only one who has his hair the exact same way.
Exactly.
Like he still has the 70s, hair, rock band hair. Like, and he still has that to this
still
day.
that today. Yeah. So
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, Brian May is an interesting guy. So he's like a legit astrophysicist.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah.
got like a PhD in astrophysics.
Yeah.
His like iconic guitar, he built that with his dad when he was like a kid, like in high school or something.
And he's a hell of a guitarist, too. Yeah.
And like, not just like build a guitar, but build like one of the greatest, most iconic sounds of all time.
Yeah.
And I saw a little video on it. He said like he's never like changed the frets on that thing. Like it's like that's a little bit about that story would have been interesting.
At this point, that guitar is just an extension of his arm. Like
Yeah.
he could play it in his sleep. So,
Yeah.
But they didn't go into any of that. Like I guess you get if you have a band like Queen or a personality like Freddie Mercury.
Freddie
Mercury.
Overshadows everything.
Yeah, a movie about Queen is gonna be about his life because he was such a he was more than just a rock star. He was out there. He was a really
sure. But I mean, they've took some time to develop a little bit of the characters around him, but not Queen. Like,
Not Queen.
Like
Oh, yeah.
all the hangers-on and the
hangers-on,
managers
yeah,
and their girlfriends and boyfriends and stuff. Like there was a little bit of, like that kind of leechy boyfriend that he had.
Yeah.
Like that was a little bit of like a depth to a character, but like that guy had more depth to him than Brian May. Like, come on.
And I also, I don't know, because until this movie, I didn't know that Freddie Mercury had a wife. I
didn't either.
Yeah, I never knew that.
I knew he had like a female significant other. I wasn't
they never
sure.
got married.
Actually, I don't know a whole lot about that.
No, they never got married. It was just a fiance.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But like, I find it hard to believe that she was that loving, like all that time, like right up to the end. Like she just, I just love Freddie so much, even though he's treated me like shit. So,
well, that's true, because she really loved him, and then he chose men, and it's kind of like, as a woman, I don't know, that would be real. But part of me wants to say she stuck with him because he's a star, to be honest.
Yeah. Now that was going to be my next question, because what kind of charisma did he have to have? Because gay or straight, he's one of the ugliest people that has
honestly,
ever...
from a female standpoint, we like artistic guys, and he has a great voice, so we can take that and oversee everything else. I don't know, maybe he was good at sex. I mean,
yeah, I guess.
Maybe he had a big dick. I don't know. Like, he
was probably good at chomping walnuts.
Well, but he can't help it. But no, so that I liked it. I do recommend if you go in with the mindset you are watching basically a documentary, so know there are going to be slow moving parts. I think you'll be okay.
I'm fine with that.
I thought there would be, like, they didn't introduce any other like rock stars of that era. I thought they would have showed when he sang
David
with Bowie.
Yeah, I thought so too. Actually,
they didn't show none of that.
They didn't do that. No,
they played the song Under Pressure, but they didn't show. Like, it would have been great to see like those recording sessions.
Who do you think would play good Bowie? David Bowie? I have no idea.
You know what? It's funny because I can't think of anybody you could have got to play Freddie Mercury.
William Shatner.
William Shatner.
You can play
Under
anybody.
Pressure.
Oh, no. You know who would play him? The guy, the real stupid guy from the Twilight movies.
Oh, Edward Norton. No, not
Edward Norton.
Geez, sorry. It's
actually,
been a
Ed
long
Norton
week.
might be a good Bowie.
No. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
that one guy.
I'm sure there's a biopic coming about David Bowie sometime soon.
There should be, actually.
And they wanted to do one with Prince, but his family was like, no.
No. Who
Prince would be fascinating as hell.
Would it be that impersonator that fell off the stage? Ow!
Again, I'd rather watch a documentary about Prince.
Yeah, exactly.
But, all right, so I'm a curmudgeon about biopics, obviously. So, all right, I know Amy liked this one, which is great.
I like everything, not all the time, but
can you guys name another good biopic? Because I'm having a hard time thinking of a good biopic.
A good biopic. We're not counting Apollo 13 as a biopic, are we?
No, that's not a biopic.
That's like specifically
movie,
about music?
You know what?
No, not necessarily
just
about
music.
The only one I can think of is Brian's song, and that's
I've never seen that.
Yeah, that's about Brian Piccolo and Gail Sayers. That's the only movie that makes me cry. So it's actually a really good movie. But other than that, and even that was an ABC movie of the week. That was never in theaters. It came out in the 70s. So other than that, I like Straight Outta Compton, but for the same reasons Amy likes this movie. It's just because I like the music.
Yeah, but there's a lot of bullshit in that movie too, right?
It's complete and total bullshit. Yeah.
The one I like that I almost think like it maybe started these formulas is the Doors movie, the Oliver Stone back from the 90s.
I haven't seen that.
I hated that movie
Val
so
Kilmer.
much because Val Kilmer, yeah. Val Kilmer was anyway a good actor, and in that movie he's just like, I don't know, maybe Jim Morrison was really like that. Maybe he played it uncommonly well, but it's like all I can think is, why would anybody be around this person like ever in life? That is why I cry. Billy D. Williams.
You cry for Billy.
Hey, listen, Brian Piccolo dies at the end of that movie. That sent me over the edge. So.
Biopic, the worst biopic. Star Wars Han Solo. That's the worst biopic. I don't really know. I don't think
they all kind of blend together because they use the same formula. Like Ray,
like there was that Steve Jobs movie that
never
Aaron
seen that
Sorkin
either.
when it came out. I didn't see that.
I mean, Ashton Kutcher played. Didn't he play?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different one. I was thinking of the one with
yeah.
Christian Bale. Was it not Christian Bale?
No.
I don't know.
There were two of them. I can't remember who was in the other one. I know Ashton Kutcher.
Oh no, it was Fassbender. I'm sorry. Fast but
That's
Furious.
it. Yeah.
Biopics.
But there's
still
that
thinking.
Lincoln one.
I heard that was good, but
No,
that
it's
looks
not.
way
It's
boring
terrible.
for me.
That was a
Right.
boring
It's
movie.
terrible. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
All right.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
Didn't he win an Oscar for that or something like that?
He always gets an
He
Oscar.
always gets an
That's
Oscar.
true.
showing
All
up.
right.
I think
I'm
it was
sorry.
a nod. I don't think he won.
Okay.
But
I'm trying to think of other biopics. I really don't know, to be honest.
The James Brown one was terrible.
That was
that was. I'm
like-
not gonna say it's terrible. It was okay.
it was okay.
I feel like
Yeah.
biopics have like forced narratives. Like I
Yeah.
said earlier, I saw First Martian, and I the space parts of that were really nice. But
Pirates of Silicon Valley. There
That
you
was a
go.
good one.
okay.
Oh, Noah Wiles. Got it.
That's
an older
That's
one.
a
That's from,
mini
like-
series. Was that not?
No,
a
I think
That
it
was
was a
a
movie,
movie.
but it was
movie?
like a 90s one.
I think maybe early 2000s, maybe.
Listen, they need a biopic.
Tino loved that thing.
They need a
I remember
biopic, a
that.
really good one
miniseries?
about
I guess
George
it was a
Clinton.
miniseries.
That would be a great biopic, George Clinton.
Who would play George Clinton?
William Shatner.
William
Still.
Shatner plays everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know who they. Samuel L. Jackson could play George Clinton. He could
The
play.
older George Clinton.
The
Who would play?
older-
Who
the-
would play younger George Clinton though?
That's a good question.
The guy who played Black Panther, maybe.
No, they'd probably get a musician, some young singer to play him, and they'd screw it all up.
Oh, I
wanna
know.
see Lawrence
Childish
Fishburne play
Gambino.
Lawrence Fishburne is way too old now.
Well, so is
Nah.
Samuel L. Jackson.
I haven't seen Lawrence
Samuel
Fishburne.
Jackson
Talking about
still
the same
carries
age?
himself like a youngster, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
I
because
li-
he shaves his head.
I like when
Pretty
he
much, yeah.
did the rendition of "Go the Fuck to Sleep."
Yeah, that was
That was good.
awesome. They
And
also
he
need one
watches
for.
hentai, by the way.
They also need one for Sly Stone. That would be because he has
It's called Rocky.
yeah, he has a
it's
real
called-
interesting story. So.
It's called Creed 2, which I did watch, but I have to watch my work husband. Sorry.
You should watch him now because he's about to be killed.
I
So,
know. He's stupid.
He's
How
so dumb.
stupid.
I heard there was like an interview with him where he wants to be the next Leonardo DiCaprio. That's what he's aiming
Who,
for.
Michael B. Jordan?
Well, okay, as an actor, that's
Yeah.
that's
It's
a
What
good
possible.
does that mean?
Well, he wants to probably have that level of success, but
And
he also-
variety of
He wants when you go see
characters.
one of his movies to see him and not the character.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
guess.
That's
'Cause I feel like when you go see Leonardo DiCaprio, you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's
So he's
Leonardo
gonna be
DiCaprio.
he's going to be in growing pains, right?
But see, so he's a good
If they
actor.
reboot that
Yeah.
with Michael B. Jordan, I'd watch that.
He's a good actor, but in Creed, he's playing he's Killmonger. He's a
No,
big,
he's not.
a big tough guy.
He is not Killmonger in this.
He's a bit, and
Second one, he is actually. I lied. First one, not so much. Second one,
and
kind
Killmonger's
of.
the best character in that movie, by the way. But,
Yeah, no,
but,
Yeah.
but
love,
see,
love you, Black Panther.
But see, here's the thing. Why is he now? This
that
is
this year?
this is the
Oh.
thing with actors. They get all beside themselves. So great, you worked out. You're all buff and everything, and you've taken
He
some
looks
boxing lessons. You cannot beat Roy Jones Jr.
Okay, I agree. He's gonna die.
He's gonna
and
die.
I don't want him to die.
I don't think this is actually going to happen.
I think it is
I think
gonna
this
happen.
is just
Well,
for people to
it's
keep
money
talking
involved.
about
just
him.
getting you to talk about him
Well,
right now.
No, actually, I think that he's actually under the impression that he can say that, and then Roy Jones will get into the ring with him and just kind of mess around. But Roy Jones Jr. is not that type of person, and like you could tell, like the videos when he's talking about it, he feels disrespected that the guy even said anything like that.
Yeah.
He's
like, wait a minute, I'm a professional
Yeah.
boxer.
Yeah.
How is this actor who played?
I think Shark's buying into
you know.
this. I think you just want to see a fight.
I would like to see. I
You
would
would
like
fly
to
to Vegas
see.
for that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would.
You
like
would pay
to see,
500. Okay, wait. It's not gonna be
You
500.
got to fight first class?
You got to pay
And then-
$3,000. Hey, you got to pay $3,000 for a ticket, and you have to fly to Vegas.
Nah, it's not happening. I don't want to.
You're like, I'll buy it on pay per view.
Yeah, exactly. Unless Gal Gadot is going as my date, and then it's on.
But you can watch the passing of Michael B. Jordan in person.
I can read about it because it's only going to be 1 minute. You know,
Oh, that's true.
it's only going to be 1 minute. He's going to step in the ring. He's going to get popped on his chin and realize, hey, wait a minute, this is not a movie, and this guy is not acting. He's going to kill me, and then he's going to run out of the ring, and then that'll be the end of his career because they're like, yeah, you're a big puss. So
No, he's still gonna act, but I don't.
He's
know.
going to get brain damage. He's going to start acting like Gilbert Grape, and his dream will come true.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Oh my god. Well, actually, I mean, if he wants to be Leonardo DiCaprio, he has to play all aspects. That means he's going to have to gain weight.
Yeah.
He has to lose his body mass. He's going to have to get skinny. He's going to have to play parts that are going to be very challenging mentally and physically. Well, physically, I know he's probably dealing with that. But yeah, I mean, you just can't play this tough guy.
I've always wanted
know.
to say something about that too. When these actors, when they lose weight and they gain weight and they do all this stuff for roles,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, it's so amazing. No, it's not. Okay, they have nutritionists.
They have nutritionists,
and the people that they spend their entire day getting them into some sort of shape.
It's amazing where you don't have like a $4 million contract at the end of it. Like just doing it for yourself. That's hard.
Yeah, that's hard.
You could lose weight if you got like a
if
leading
you
role
pay
in
me
a
what
movie.
he gets, half of what he gets paid,
Listen,
I'll happily
if
do
somebody
that.
were to pay me $20 million, I'd be the leanest, buffest guy on the planet. I'd be like, yeah, I'll do it.
I'll do it for $2 million.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I'll do it for 500,000. Make it happen.
Yeah, no, but I think they want them to do it safely. And so if they were going to do it on your own, it's kind of like, yeah, you can go major extremes with it. So let's just make sure he or she is doing it the right way. But I agree with you. It's
Just eating protein and fruits and vegetables at home
cut
is a
the
lot
carbs,
different.
cut the BS.
I want to
fast
see a remake
food.
of The Machinist with Shark.
Oh God.
Oh gosh.
Shark down to like 90 pounds.
Hey, listen. When I told my doctor I wanted to get down to 225 pounds, which is what I weighed in high school. He's like, "You'll die before you get there." He's like, "It's not possible."
Good grief.
It's like, are you willing to lose a limb?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, overall, we're off topic here a little.
I mean, that's what we are. We talk about a lot of different things.
And so I think we can agree that overall biopics just suck in general. So
Right.
That's my feeling.
Yeah, I
but
can't.
I don't want to
think
taint
of
the group
you know.
with my negativity here.
No, go for it. I mean, you
Well,
know.
you usually do. We're all
I mean,
negative.
that's my-
I don't really come in to these things with an opinion of my own. I just wait for you to tell me what you think.
Yeah.
I think there's one thing. Well, we can't even
Be the
all
one
agree
person
on
who
this.
has not seen this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are not missing. Don't waste your time seeing it. Wait until it comes on Netflix.
You're the only one who could be objective about it,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, no, wait till it comes on Amazon Prime.
I don't plan
Jigglypuff
on,
is pretty depressed by the negativity.
Sorry, Jiggly. I'm trying really
I really wanted to
hard.
see it for the show. Now that the show is past, I will never watch this movie because I had zero desire to watch it.
Okay,
begin
do
with.
this. Don't watch the whole movie. Just go to the end and watch the concert.
Can I just watch the real concert?
Do
I
both
would
and
much rather-
compare it. Do both
That's the
and
thing.
compare it.
Like, it's really well made how they do it, but they're just recreating something you can watch on YouTube. It's not like a World War I battle.
Right,
like
yeah.
it's on on YouTube. You could watch it. It's the same thing.
That's true, but it's really kind of cool to see back to back and see how they're doing it, and then you can be like, oh, well, they messed up here and stuff like that.
So you know that's that scene where I forgot who it is. He goes up to the soundboard and there's a piece of tape that says like "Don't move
Yeah.
this."
Oh,
you're
yeah, and he moves it.
moves it up and pumps it up a little bit higher. And
Yeah.
so then I went to see the actual the real footage on YouTube, and they're like plagued by sound issues. There's like all this crazy feedback everywhere.
Oh my god!
It was a disaster. Oh, there's one you could like
Skip
hear,
that part.
you could hear guys like talking on the intercom, like the roadies or something in the backstage. Like the radio was like bleeding into the PA.
You know,
It was a mess.
the group Fishbone?
Yeah.
I saw Fishbone in concert one time, and the sound throughout the whole show, they're yelling at the sound man for whatever reason. He was like messing up really bad. As soon as the show ended, they jumped off stage and they beat the shit out of the sound man.
Oh
They
my
ran to the
God.
back of the crowd and they just jumped him and like started beating him
What
up.
the hell?
I saw a video with Biggie doing that. With like he like threw a bottle at a DJ.
Yeah.
At his DJ that was just
Really?
like screwing him up.
Yeah, you know what? I there's a thing with actors and musicians like that guy Sebastian Bach.
Oh yeah.
That guy. He used to jump off
From
stage.
Skid Row.
Skid Row. He used to do like if somebody pissed him off in the front.
Oh yeah, he would brawl.
He would
Yeah.
jump off stage, and he was this skinny. 110. I wish I,
think
would
Axl
be
used to
standing
do
in
that,
front of us, and he would jump off stage, and I'd be like,
That's because
"Oh, I'm
he's-
glad you came down here."
Dude, that's why he's high on cocaine. I mean, you have courage up galore.
I guarantee you this: if Sebastian Bach jumped off that stage at me, he would be bald headed by the time he got back up there.
Dude,
and you would make his hair into a Brian May wig.
Exactly.
Shark, I look at you and I'm like tiptoeing, like just not to be. I'm like, oh, I don't want to. No, you're a big teddy bear, so
Pretty much.
I
yes.
will not aim for you when I jump off stage. So you're good. You're good.
Is there any movie we can all agree on to watch?
Spider-Man
So
into
we-
the Spider-Verse?
When does that come out? Does anyone know?
December 18th, I think.
That looks like it
All
might
right.
be pretty good, but this
That's like 2
Aquaman
weeks from
thing
now.
looks like complete.
All right, look, I'm
I'm
not
does
gonna
that
ask,
come out?
I'm not gonna ask you guys to go watch it. I will go watch it because I know it's hot garbage just for Jason
And
Momoa.
you know what's funny? You're going to watch it just because you want to see Jason
Hell
Momoa.
yeah!
And
I
that,
mean,
the guy who directed that movie, James Wan, I think his name is James Wan, something like that.
Oh, man.
He even said he's like, hey, I have Jason Momoa with his shirt off through the whole movie.
Exactly.
He's basically saying, yeah, it's going to be shit, but there's going to be women there watching Jason Momoa.
Look,
So,
I will give my money to Jason Momoa all day. He looks like the type of dude. I'm on his. I follow him on Instagram. You can have a beer with him. He is that cool.
he seems really stupid.
No. Wow.
he just does. But hey,
I mean, whatever.
All those muscles just make his like body mass to brain ratio
No, I
look
just
small.
want to hug him. I don't want anything. I don't want to touch his muscle. I just want to give him a hug.
See, that could be my jealousy speaking. I'd love to have his life. He's got all the women. I'd love to have you give me a
he has
hug,
one
just
woman,
because,
Lisa Bonet.
Lisa
okay?
Bonet, yeah. But
All
he has a planet full of women
for
that love him.
Wait,
so.
he's dating Lisa Bonet?
They're married. They've been
yeah.
married for 15 years maybe.
Really?
If it
Did this guy do anything before Game of Thrones?
Baywatch.
He was on Baywatch?
Yeah.
If it ever doesn't work out between the two of them, there's plenty of fish in the sea.
Wonka, wonka, wonka.
Can you just roll the in music right there? Because that's.
There's
Pardon,
also
pardon.
actually, you know what? There's a couple of movies coming out next
I
month.
kind of want to.
know
Does anybody want to see Widows? Is that just me?
Widows.
I do want to see Widows.
What's that
All right,
about?
I want to see that. I don't know.
It's about a group of women whose husbands die and they have to rob something to pay back a loan to
Who's
them.
in
I think it's
that?
like women murdering people.
Viola Davis.
I
And-
never even heard of
It's like a
this.
bunch of black chicks, right?
No, it's Viola Davis and then
Liam Neeson, I think.
Is this
in it?
Ocean's
Yeah,
8 we're talking about?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Liam Neeson is her husband. But he dies like at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't know. I heard it was really good. I want to see it.
I would check that out. Did you guys ever see the movie Sorry to Bother You?
No, who's in that?
Oh,
I heard.
I saw the trailer. It looked kind of interesting.
So
but then I kind of disappeared.
it's a very interesting movie, and it starts off really good, but at the end it just goes completely weird, where they're like trying to sell people into slavery, and they turn people into horses. You got to see it. It's really, really weird. It's really, really
It
strange.
looked like a weird movie from
Yeah.
the trailer.
It is very strange. Basically, what it
Who's
is about
in
a
that?
guy. It's a black guy, and he does telemarketing.
Okay.
But he can make his voice sound like a white person's.
Oh, hold on.
So
Sorry to bother you is the name of it,
Yeah, so
right?
he's able to sell things because people think they're talking
I
to a
heard
white
people
guy.
compare it to Get Out. I think.
Yeah,
Sounds like
yeah,
it.
but
It's like a black commentary movie, right?
yeah, but like they go way off the rails with it, like because there's a company there called
Oh, Tessa Thompson's in
there's
this.
a company in the movie called Worry Free. It's called Worry Free, where basically you don't have any worries. You go to work, you sign a contract that you're going to work for this company for the rest of your life.
Dude,
And they take care of everything, your housing, and you eat your food and everything. It's basically you're selling yourself into slavery.
Okay.
And that's what the movie's about. It's about unions
Interesting.
and all this stuff.
Dude, the main
Yeah,
guy
I think
was
I've heard of that.
The main guy was in Get Out. He was
Yeah.
the guy.
Yeah, he was one of the he was one
I
of
knew
the
there was
people
some
in the
Get Out
Sunken Place.
connection to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
You know
also
what?
on that show Atlanta.
Oh, Terry Crews is in it too.
Yeah, Terry Crews in it.
Okay, actually, I'm.
Donald
If I can
Glover.
find an
loves
online.
Terry Crews.
Ooh, hold
Yeah.
up. My other work husband's in that.
It's on Hulu because you said you just
Is
got
it on Hulu?
Oh, it's
yeah.
on Hulu? Cool.
Yeah, go on the movie section of Hulu and you can watch it there.
Oh, Golden Girls, step aside
But
tonight.
but I'm telling you, by the end
He's got
of
her
that
night
movie,
plan.
by the end of that movie, you're going to be like, "What the hell did I just watch?"
That's okay. I am in that
I love
mood
movies
right
like that,
now.
though.
Yeah,
I am in that. Okay, I'm excited.
it's
kind of
like Black Mirror.
I love
of course,
Black
yeah,
Mirror.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, it's got a real weird Twilight Zone feel to it.
All right, so possibly Widows. That opened this weekend.
Possibly Widows.
If we want to do a show before Spider-Man,
Yeah.
we should do more shows.
Definitely.
This is fun.
Listen.
I had fun and I didn't even watch this stupid movie.
Listen, I think we should wreck Aquaman because it's going to be so damn wreckable, and it'll be a great show.
All right, I'm only going to see Aquaman if we all go together.
Absolutely.
Like a Sunday matinee,
I have
like
to
9
be
o'clock.
at least 2 beers in before we get there.
That,
I'll
I'm
be
sure
3.
the movie theater
You can
has
start drinking
liquor.
at 7 a.m. on a Sunday.
We'll go to Sinopolis
yeah,
so we
for
can
that, yeah.
so we can drink beers.
I did it
while
for the
we're there.
World Cup. I'll do it for this.
If anyone from Sinopolis or any movie theater wants to sponsor us to watch Aquaman,
You know where to find us.
we would love to take you on that offer.
Absolutely. We'll bring a group of people down.
Oh
and,
man, do we want to? I remember when I started with you guys, my first broadcast is when we did Guardians of the Galaxy 2 at one
At
of
the
the
movie
movie
theater?
theaters.
Yeah.
That'd
And
be
they
kinda
never
cool.
invited us back.
Oh,
Too bad.
That's okay though.
Probably because we wrecked that movie so bad because it sucked.
Amber Heard, you know what?
That was a bad movie.
I don't know if you guys
They,
know.
they could probably just like see this cloud of negativity hanging
Pretty
over
much,
us.
Yeah.
Wait,
So-
Amber Heard's in what?
She's an Aquaman, but
Oh,
your
God, I
heart
don't-
belongs to Gal Gadot, so
Yes.
I don't know Jigglypuff if Shark will.
What's the big deal with Amber Heard? Like, she's cute, but she can't.
I think the Johnny Depp thing when she was married to him with the whole domestic violence kind of.
Well, I felt bad for her, but she's not a great actress.
No, she's.
Where- I
I'm
don't
not a
know
big
her.
fan
Where
of
she's-
her.
She's no Gal Gadot.
She was in. Okay, so let me look her up. I'll tell you some movies maybe you guys might recognize with her.
How come she didn't kick Johnny Depp's anorexic ass?
I don't know. She was in Machete Kills.
He was drunk, so he had superpowers.
Nah.
The Rum
Jigglypuff thinks she's
Diary.
gorgeous.
She was in. Oh well, we know she's in Justice League. Come on, The Danish Girl. That was actually a good movie, by the way.
Never heard of it.
Who was she in Justice League?
She's,
all in Danish.
She's Marina. She's Aquaman's wife.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She's the red,
Yeah.
like bright, cartoony redhead.
Very nice looking girl.
She's cute.
Did they model
She's
her
just-
after the Little Mermaid?
No.
No.
Hell no.
Jessica Rabbit.
Hell no. She does not have the tits and ass for that. Sorry. I'm just saying. She is gorgeous. She's all right.
She's in that
aight.
Nicolas Cage movie where he drives from Get Out of Hell. Drive
Maybe.
Angry.
I think she's in
How
that.
How many
yeah,
movies
she
does
is.
he do now? Does he? He has to do like a
2.
movie every day just to.
That's because they're all
I heard
on.
good things about. What was the last one he did? Not Manic. Mandy. Right?
Oh, that's right.
Mandy.
He got like good reviews for something.
Yeah,
Was it-
that's like a heavy metal movie. Like if you're in a heavy metal
Wait a
movie,
minute,
go
Mandy,
watch
is that
Hell
Barry
yeah.
Manilow?
Yeah.
Well, he was once a really good actor.
I saw Vampire's Kiss. Have you guys seen that?
Where? Where'd you see
What?
them?
It is that
Just
movie.
the name.
No, you
so you're the one.
you should totally watch that movie. If you want to see Nicolas Cage doing some like fucking Nicolas Cage shit, that movie is where it's at. That movie like changed my life when I saw that thing.
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna have to watch that. That sounds glorious.
I haven't even heard the name of that movie in like years.
We should do like a live wrecking of that or something.
Oh no, the
We
guy.
should really
What's
do
the worst movie of all time? What's
The Room?
The Room. That guy is in another movie now.
Yeah,
He's acting
yeah.
in some other movie.
That's right.
I was like,
yeah. The guy that co-starred in The Room wrote that new movie.
Oh, did he? And they made it.
Yeah.
This is the luckiest guy, or the best person at marketing in the history of the world.
I think it's a two-parter too. I think
yeah.
it's like a half a movie, and then there's like
Because as an artist, he's terrible. He's the worst ever. But he should get hired by somebody for marketing because he can sell
Vampire's
anything.
Kiss is very much in the realm of The Room. So
Pretty much.
they're like in the same neighborhood.
So overall, caffeine people, don't see Bohemian Rhapsody.
No. Watch it. Not. I
Watch
would
it for
say-
$5 or under. Is what
Look,
Amy's saying.
if you
Yeah.
can go to the movie theater at a discount rate, because it is better on a bigger screen with a great sound system, just stay till the end, okay? Don't leave. But if you have to wait till it comes on Blu-ray, make sure you have a good sound system.
Go see it with Amy because
I'll go.
Amy can make you very happy.
Amy is the best of us.
Yeah, she
I find good in everything, but I also
Exactly.
will shit on shit that deserves it. So
she represents the best in all of us.
I try. No, trust me.
Amy is the Harvey Dent of this.
Dude, no, have watched movies and I'm like straight garbage. I have nothing positive to say about it. I'm trying really hard. I enjoyed it.
I think it goes like from the top. It goes Amy, Paul, me, and then Eric. Because
Yeah.
Eric hates
Oh, I didn't see
Watched
it. I don't have an opinion of it.
Eric
so.
Switzerland in this in this score. But no, I'm totally down to watch another movie. I know there's some good movies coming out this month. All I can think of is Spider-Man right now.
The sad thing is, I know
We'll at least do
I'm
Spider-Man.
gonna see Aquaman. So Amy,
And
I'm
Aquaman.
going to see Aquaman with you. So,
No, we're gonna go as a group.
If we all go as a
because we
group,
know it's gonna be hot garbage. Let's get some beers beforehand.
As long as
Let's
you guys
drink
can-
beers during.
as long as you guys can stand to hear me in the mood the whole time, going, oh, good God.
Dude, I will totally be laughing my ass off, like for sure. Like, no, my friend Jay was just telling me about some movies, so I'm gonna go find what else is coming out because I know there's Bumblebee. That's the
No,
Never.
no,
Never.
no.
That was the other movie. Was
I will do
Bumblebee.
Aquaman over Bumblebee.
Or I can swing hot razor blades in my eye. Same thing.
Okay. No, but
Why don't we do this? If so on caffeine, can they send us messages? Why don't you guys tell us what movies you would like
Yeah,
to
for
see
sure.
Rekt, and we'll make that happen.
Widows.
We can do that.
We
Say
can
Widows.
do multiples. Let's pick the top 2. Let's do 2. And we'll go from there.
As you see, we can swing through anything on this show. We can wreck 5 films if we want to. So.
By the way,
Still stopping us.
no, we're not watching A Star Is Born. That is past, Tino. Sorry. Sorry. I'll wait
I heard
till...
good things about it.
I did too, but
My
that's
wife
total
wants to go see
DVD.
it. I haven't.
Total Blu-ray movie.
I've seen the old Star Is Born, so I don't see
Is
a
that
reason
with
to see the new.
Barbra Streisand?
Yeah, with Barbra Streisand. Well, and there's one before that, which was like in the 50s, but
Oh, that's right.
yeah, I think it was Judy Garland was in that.
Yeah,
one.
it was Judy Garland.
Yeah, but
Ooh, Judy Garland biotopic. Who could play her?
Liza Minnelli.
What if she's dead?
Liza Minnelli.
So what you're saying is,
It'll be like she'll play her from the grave.
oh gosh, oh my god. But for me personally, I'm gonna go try to watch Wreck-It Ralph 2 this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a huge Disney fan, and
I haven't seen the first one.
You haven't?
No.
First one's
First
good.
one was good.
Have you guys seen The Incredibles Part 2 yet? Is that
I did. I
haven't
did finally
seen it.
watch it.
was it any good?
Honestly, for a sequel, it wasn't bad.
You know what movie I am actually excited about is the new Lion King, the remake of the Lion King.
Okay.
Ask about
Whoa. Back up. Let's talk about this for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Live action, Lion King.
It's not
Yes.
live. It's CG.
Exactly.
It's
That's
CG.
my issue. Why are they referring it to live action?
Because the Jungle Book made a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
But
They're like,
it's-
we should make that.
there's no humans in this.
Well,
I understand the Jungle Book. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mowgli,
No,
you know.
well, you first have to understand that Disney is as full of shit as a Christmas goose. So you have to.
Christmas goose? I've never had one
Yeah,
of those.
that my grandmother
It's like
said.
a
I
turf
never have known what it means. So
All right, guys, I gotta run.
All right, Eric.
we all got to run. Eric's got to run. We got to run. So,
All right, guys. We'll continue this next time. So, yeah, if you can, let us know what
See,
movies you
Nisa
want to watch.
thinks Incredibles 2 is good.
Nisa, then we're going to go check it out. And thank all you guys for Caffeine for checking us out.
Yep.
Hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Bye.
Thank you.